What Are Y'all Talking About? The podcast where we just talk about what everyone else is talking about, and we come in with almost no information. We really just read the headlines. We see everyone else is talking about it, and we jump in and we give our opinions. No one asked, no one cares, but that's never stopped us before.
And it will never stop us.
You wanted to talk about something that maybe isn't necessarily what everyone is currently talking about.
Perhaps not, but I think that there's probably a pretty big following that is. I watch a lot of dating shows.
Why? I like how you said that proudly.
I do. I am proud of it, actually. I mean, I have been watching The Bachelor since it started. Every single facet of it I have watched. Every single spinoff. If I commit, I commit.
That's a lot of television.
I know. It's actually a little obscene.
The Bachelor is so fucking boring. It ain't no Vanderpump, baby.
It's true.
It ain't even no Housewives. Even the worst of the Housewives is demolishing Bachelor.
It blows my mind that these people are willing to go onto this show and fight over the same guy and be okay with it and be friends with each other and be supportive. Like, the behind the scenes thing is so crazy to me.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What is your theory behind the type of person that would want to do that? I have a theory, but I don't really know these people. You've watched hours and hours. What is your theory on the type of person that would be willing to do this or want to do this?
Back in my 20s, I would have considered it.
Why?
Because I'm ridiculous. But at the same time, I would also know that I think nowadays the reason to go on it isn't necessarily the way it used to be or the reasoning why.
But do you think the motivation has always been the same, which is to get a little famous and maybe find a cutie? But the media has changed. Like, once upon a time it was to get a little famous, maybe to get on the cover of People magazine and get a little cute book deal or be the host of a show. And now the media has changed and it's to like get 1 million subscribers on Instagram or TikTok.
I think it's twofold. I think there's a very small chance that I may actually find, a great match here. Then I can potentially get famous. And now I'm opened up to the Bachelor and Bachelorette pool of people. Or then there's also the chance that you may or may not be the person who gets chosen to be the next Bachelor or Bachelorette.
For me, the draw was to be the Bachelorette. 25 hot dudes that they've already sifted through that are kind of my type-ish.
That would give me massive anxiety, but I think I would dominate in that department.
Oh, you think you would dominate being the Bachelorette or being one of the 25?
More so being the Bachelorette, but being one of the 25, I think I could.
You think you would slaughter at being one of the 25?
I mean, I do, because I want to do what would be considered all the fun stuff.
Like, really, really take advantage of the Bachelor's budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that has been said to be a problem with relationships that make it, is that once they get back to the quote unquote real world and it's not like vacations and helicopter rides, then the relationship maybe struggles because they're not in this what do you call it? Adrenaline, big experience.
So this little bubble.
Yeah, fantasy life on somebody else's dime. And then we go to really getting to know each other in mundane monotony of, everyday life.
They were a great segue into some of these other shows that are out there, aka Love is Blind.
Oh my God, nothing makes me more sick. Nothing makes me more sick.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with all of these. Now, the difference is that on The Bachelor, you may have gone on a total of 2.5 dates with this person, and then you're contemplating marriage. In these other situations, you are thrown into real life situations. You spend all this time talking to somebody. I do think it's a little bit more realistic.
Which one do you think is the most primed for a successful relationship of all the dating shows? Which one do you think is this is where you're really going to find somebody on this one?
I actually think both Married at First Sight has a really good chance, as well as Love is Blind. Love is Blind, for me, you yourself are doing your due diligence, right? It's a blind date. You're literally not seeing them. So you can ask them anything. So you can really get to know them. You spend tons of hours. And I think that people make a very serious connection with these people. But the one that I really wanted to speak about recently is The Ultimatum, Queer Love.
Okay, I really like the dramaticness of announcing.
Because I want you to know, I've already watched previously The Ultimatum that was heterosexual, and I found Queer Love to be so much better.
Can I tell you what? That is what the kids are saying on the streets, is that Queer Love is the best. Because it was mostly a lesbian cast, right?
It was completely lesbian. Well, not just lesbian, non-binary, like...
Well, but by the way, I have a confusing time with that as well, because I was told, I don't know if this is true, non-binary, you can still call yourself lesbian because it is just, I don't identify as straight male, but I'm attracted to females or people who identify as female. And that is still considered lesbian, I think is my understanding. That even if you're non-binary, you can, but I don't know.
To anyone out there who is queer, we apologize already in advance if we are incorrect in any of this, because we love love. That's that.
Love, and love the gay community. Like, get out of here, cis community. Get out of here. What are you doing even listening to this right now? We only want the gays.
I'll take anyone who's listening, truly.
Honestly, but we're desperate. So anyone, we'll take anyone. You're MAGA? Okay, we'll look the other way for right now. I'm just kidding. I'll cut that out.
You're Bernie? You feel the burn?
You love the burn? Oh, we're definitely taking you. But this is what everyone is saying, is that this is the best dating show. Mm-hmm. This is the most realistic. People love it the most.
I don't think it's realistic.
I mean, realistic in terms of like how they communicate with each other. Like
that.
What I was told, that there wasn't a sense of falseness that there has been in other, like, this isn't for Instagram follows, which can tend to be the case in other dating shows. This was like, had a genuineness to it.
Correct. I just found their way that they communicate and their authentic interactions. It's just shocking, like the amount of growth that people do when they're not, like when they're taken out of their normal environment. And I find it like mesmerizing. I am 100% interested. I am like, give me the popcorn. I am here for all of it. I will stay up late. I don't care how tired I am. I can't get enough.
People are gassed up about Ultimatum Queer Love. They're like, this is the most genuine, most raw shit. Again, the circumstances aren't real, but they are acting genuine and real. They're really taking this seriously. It is in earnest that people are going in there. They're really trying to honor the rules of the show, the kind of premise of the show. And it's very interesting that it is non-binary, lesbian identifying persons who are fucking demolishing, because people are in love with it. They're obsessed with it because of the authenticity of the cast members. It's very interesting.
And I think it's very interesting when you have a heterosexual couple, the difference between men and women, the way in which they communicate.
It's so interesting because even the preview, I was like, wow, there isn't a lot of lesbian content. There's not. There's a lot of gay content. To me, to have this I was like, oh yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff for people who identify in this way. And for it to be something that is very explosive, and for people to be talking about how real it is and how true it is to conversations that are had in real relationships.
One of them specifically said, she's like, to me, sex is valued as X, but for other women, that may not be considered sex. And so like what I'm getting upset about may not be what you get upset about, but it matters to me. Like that you've crossed the line there. One couple who came in together, partnered with a neutral wife, and they said, I love you to each other.
Ooh, intense.
I will give them this. Okay. So I'm just going to use names now because Mal, if you're listening, big fan, huge fan.
And by the way, Mal, how did you find this podcast? If you are listening,
listen on up, Mal. Love you, especially your reunion outfit. Meow, you were rocking that.
Oh shit, bitch. Okay. I want to see all this shit.
Even though she knew that her partner was in love with another person as well as her, that was kind of crazy to me. But also bring it back to The Bachelor. They always say this, the final two. And The Bachelor, the Bachelorette is like, I can't believe I'm in love with two different people. Perfect example here as well. She still proposed. The fact that she took everything that Yoli was saying to her throughout the whole thing, and she was like, you came here for this experience. I want you to have the full experience. I love you in any single way that you are.
How lovely.
She was. She's like exactly the type of human that you hope
you're partnered with.
And you know what? Vanessa's dad was pretty amazing as well. I thought that he was a great supplementary character who came on, because he said, back in the day when like the Constitution of Marriage started, taking a partner for the rest of your life was only until you were like 35.
Also, shouts out dying early. You know?
No, I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah, but we got to worry about my retirement now. Okay. And I'm already starting to be like, I can't do the shit I used to do.
Most people are not comfortable with more than one partner. It's a lot to focus on. I think that people want to feel wanted. They want to feel secure. And then you add in a third person, aka a throuple, and it adds a whole other dynamic that just is not comfortable for most people. I would say polygamy is your closest thing to stuff like this. That type of concept, no. Now, my husband also is very similar. Like, he even gets upset when I talk about Chris Hemsworth.
Why would he get upset? Why would he get upset? He doesn't love hearing about Chris. Who doesn't love just having a picture of him in their brain?
Right. Burned, etched in my brain. His hall pass is Jennifer Aniston. I give it to him.
All right. Well, good luck to everyone. Best of luck to both of you.
Either way, I do believe that there are multiple people out there for you. And especially in this particular case, you're kind of comparing and contrasting your previous partner to who you're paired up with now. And it's very easy to see sometimes this person has these qualities that my other partner doesn't, and how you can fall in love with those.
You go through a lot of stages. You go through a lot of ugly parts with each other, and you see a lot of ugly parts of each other. And a fresh person can definitely look more shiny and definitely look more appealing, because you don't have that history and that growth, but also you have become a different person and haven't been hurt by this other person. It's okay to shed a person that you've been with for years, even though you've gone through really hard times and worked through to get to this point, because both of you are different people.
Throw it out there.
Yeah.
If you had to be on a dating show, which one would you go on?
Probably Hoarders. God, they all suck. You know which one's kind of fun? I kind of like Love Island. It feels like friendship with eye candy. Like in The Bachelor, it feels like we're all enemies. We're all against each other. And in these like blind ones, it feels like we're talking a lot. We're hanging out a lot. In Love Island, is like, okay, here's some hotties that I might make out with or sleep with, whatever. And then also my friends are here too. Fun times.
See, I think you would be so great on Love is Blind.
Ew, they just talk too much.
You could go on it, and if you don't find anyone that you're matched with, then you walk away or you get engaged. One of the two.
No, because so here's the thing: is the fun part to me of those shows, the Love is Blind show, is that the part in the booths, the part in the what pods.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Right. But after that, where they like keep them sequestered in like a hotel with the other people, all of it after the pods, gross.
You mean they go on like a mini honeymoon?
I hate it. The pods is my favorite part.
I even watch Love is Blind Brazil.
Oh, you're putting some subtitles on this shit.
It's the voiceovers. The one I could not get into was Love is Blind Japan. I could not. I tried.
Why? What is it about their culture?
Oh, it's so standoffish. I could not.
What do you mean it's standoffish? Like they weren't communicating, or they weren't being vulnerable, or what do you think?
They all felt like chess pieces to me. Like
they were playing a social game?
I could not. I think I didn't even watch a full episode. I was so uncomfortable.
Oh, shit. Do you want to know what I loved? That one clip of the guy putting eye drops in his eyes to look like he was crying. I fucking love that shit. I love trash people getting caught on camera. That's fun. This is a good time. I like Love is Blind because then it just feels like a bunch of hot friends playing games.
No, you like Love Island.
I mean, sorry. I love Island. I love Island because it feels like a bunch of hot friends hanging out and playing games.
I think secretively you like Love is Blind. You keep saying it. So I think you're into it.
You know what? Because they're all fucking named they're the same fucking name. They're switching one word on me. Like I can keep track of that. I have ADHD. You think I can keep track of this shit?
I also really like the one, and I can't remember the name of it.
MILF Island? Are you talking about MILF Island?
No, it's like the little Alexa. I can't remember, but it's not. And she's like a robot that talks to all of them, and they all get penalized. money-wise because they're not supposed to touch each other.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like you're not allowed to masturbate, otherwise the money goes down.
Yeah, they're not allowed to do anything physical.
I've never seen it, but that's
so
but that's not a dating show. That's like it's like a torture show.
It turns into one. It turns into finding like actual like meaningful relationships instead of just like hooking up for your body. I think you actually have to do some watching, and then we can go back and have another episode about that show.
Okay, all right. I'll choke down some trash shit.
And some of them have phenomenal accents. Oh, I love it.
Oh, I love it. I can do a Love is Blind accent all day. That's just so fun for me. Babes. Oh my God, babes. Come over here. He's fit. He writes fit. So cute. So cute.
You're really good.
Dude, Love is Blind accent is maybe the only one I can do.
It's not Love is Blind. It's
I keep doing that. Love Island. Love Island. Ugh, so sorry. That happened with Jersey Shore and Jersey Housewives. If they're too close, I can't do it. My brain can't sort it out.
I can understand.
Do you know what content I am interested in? I'm interested enough to leave the house.
Oh.
Which is not me.
No, it's not.
Is the new Barbie movie.
Interesting. I have zero desire.
And that has like don't you think that has a Love Island feel, that set? Doesn't it feel like a Love Island set? The little Barbie house?
So true or false, I hate commercials. True. And therefore, I try to DVR everything so I don't have to watch.
You're telling me you haven't seen any content on the new Barbie movie?
I only know that Margot Robbie is in it. If I could come back as one human, I may want to come back as her. She's gorgeous and she seems so fun.
I might want to come back as Zendaya.
Oh, she is also up there. Yes, that's a very good choice as well.
Yeah, thank you. But you want to come back as Margot Robbie?
I think with the accent, she just seems like a hell of a good time to me.
Oh, well, I'm so interested in the Barbie movie.
Tell me why.
Because it's a spectacle for the eyes. It's a treat. And instead of having Barbie use the stairs, she just floats down to the bottom. You know, like when you're a kid, you held your Barbie. She was on the 3rd floor, and then you just brought her all the way down to the kitchen. They do like fun shit. I'm very excited about this movie, and I'm willing to leave the house. And that's really not my style.
It's not. Plus Ryan Gosling's in it, so.
Plus Ryan fucking Gosling. And I don't love his hair, okay? I don't like the Ken hair. That's not my thing. But I do love Ryan Gosling. Why? Why did God make Ryan Gosling? I'd like to thank him for that. And by God, I mean, I know God doesn't exist, but thank you for Ryan Gosling, the science and the math and the galaxy glitter dust that came together to make him. What a time to be alive.
He's hysterical. I love his dryness.
He's so funny and underrated as a comedian. It's very funny.
Most definitely.
Underrated. Fucking Ryan Reynolds gets gassed up for his comic timing and his comic abilities. But what about Ryan Gosling?
So you don't like Ryan Reynolds?
I like him, but he's not for me. If I had to choose between Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds, I'm going to choose the Goss. Hot Goss.
Wow, the debate over which Ryan.
Which Ryan would you go for? Everyone's talking about these Chris's. Which Chris they'd pick? Let's talk about the Ryans.
Oh, man. I will say, though, Ryan Reynolds is very funny, though, with his dad comment. I do like that. I loved him in Van Wilder, which I know was a long time ago.
I also think there's a lot of men that are so pretty that they're unappealing. But as they get old and become silver foxes, that's when I'm interested in them, is when they're no longer pretty boys, but silver foxes. And Ryan Reynolds as a silver fox is hotter to me than a pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between hot and pretty boy. And Ryan Reynolds was a pretty boy. Same with James Marsden.
Oh, he's so good looking.
Right, but he was pretty boy. But now he's getting into his silver fox era, and now I'm like, what's up? But Ryan Gosling has been hot the whole time, but I wouldn't describe him as pretty boy. Pretty boy is different.
I love hot little pups, and I love hot silver
Ew,
foxes.
What you just said.
I was just trying to use animal references.
Yeah, but we don't have to be disgusting about it. I love little hot pups. Ew. I'd like to die now. If I had eaten this morning, I would have puked everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
You know who I
really
pick
got from that
anytime,
gross.
and it's not either choice? Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Keep in mind your husband listens to this podcast. But I can tell he didn't listen to our last episode because otherwise we'd have some blowback, okay? I can tell which episodes have and have not been listened to by your husband.
Paul
And
Rudd,
last one, he didn't listen to.
is the perfect combination of dry humor and just like makes me laugh all the time. And he ages so gracefully. He almost like doesn't age. And he's just so quintessential, like adorably handsome.
Who is your number one?
Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. He's very cute.
Hemi all day.
I feel like I just don't know enough about him.
He's funny. The accent.
Who's your random that you feel like not enough people are talking about? Because I think Hemsworth is like, yeah, everyone's hot for Hemsworth. Yeah, everyone's hot for Gosling. But who's like people don't talk about this hottie enough. And I want people to start talking about this hottie a little bit more because I have one.
Oh, well, I want to hear yours because I'm going to try to think about who's on my list.
First.
No. Because you really have one. I have to kind of go through my little list and think who really I would pick that you'd be like surprised by.
Okay, so here's one that I don't, not that he's not hot, but I feel like not enough people are talking about him, is Taron Egerton. Am I saying that correctly?
Oh,
From Kingsman?
Oh, I was about to say, I think that isn't he also in Sing 2?
Yeah, I think he is the pig.
Not
Sing
the pig.
2.
I think that
he's not the pig.
I think he's Johnny.
Who's Johnny? Who the fuck?
He's the gorilla.
Okay. By the way, I don't know. I saw it one time.
Oh, he's very handsome.
I don't think enough people are talking about how hot he is. I have a real problem with this person in particular, you know? And you want to know who everyone else is on this train. You know, when you're like, oh, I've been a fan of this thing the whole time. I've been wanting people to talk about this thing the whole time. And now that everyone's talking about it, maybe I don't. Maybe I wanted it a little bit to myself. I wanted it to be the special thing. But Pedro Pascal, I've had a boner for Pedro Pascal this whole time. And now everyone's hopping on the daddy bandwagon of Pedro Pascal. And I don't know how to feel about it. Because I'm like, thank you everyone for talking about it. But also everyone shut up.
From Narcos.
From Game of Thrones too.
Yes.
And everyone's talking about it. And I'm like, how do I feel? Because I'm happy everyone's talking about it. But also, I don't want everyone to talk about it. I wanted this to be mine. I'm conflicted. But Taron Egerton is the one that I'm like, not enough people are talking about how hot this smoke show is. It's a little boner bringer. And am I happy about that? Or will I be sad like when they all discovered Pedro Pascal?
Pedro Pascal, I think people have known about. They just don't pull him out all the time.
They weren't talking about it like they're talking about it now. Pedro Pascal is now a staple of hotness in the same way Ryan Reynolds, in the same way Ryan Gosling, in the same way that these hotties are being talked about. Pedro Pascal is also included in these conversations now as being the hottest.
I mean, he was super hot in Narcos. There's just something about him.
Love those tight pants.
I mean, wow, you really have some people that I like I guess they don't roll off the tongue as quickly for me.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Who is your kind of like obscure hottie?
I don't know. I know that sounds terrible.
Because you're going with mainstream hotties. Even though I think I'm going through those are mainstream hotties.
I mean, are they?
Yeah. Taron Egerton. Is that how I say his name? By the way, that's how obscure he is. I'm not 100% sure I know how to say his name.
You know who else I think is really good looking?
Whom?
Oh my gosh. Oh, of course I'm going to think about it.
Okay, this feels obscure.
There was a Netflix show, Adam Demos and Mike Vogel. I am into both of them.
Because you're boner town for Australian accents. This is not my style. This is Pretty Boy. This is what I'm telling you is not for me. No, this is not for me. This is not for me. What is the other one that you said?
They're both from Sex Life.
No, this is not for me. This is not for me. No, this is CW hot. It's not for me.
Oh, I love CW hot. I do.
We are going to use this term. This is, okay,
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds was CW hot, okay?
Okay, I can see that
Mike
too.
Vogel was CW hot. I'm just looking at him right now. Mike Vogel, he's CW hot. Who's the last guy you just told me about?
Demos, I think Demos.
Demos. I'm just looking them up as you're telling me. This is not for me. This is CW hot and I'm not interested.
And also, you know who else? He was actually on, what is his name? Trevor. Oh my God, he was actually on CW.
If you're CW hot, you're not for me. Call me when your show is done with its run on CW. When your show gets canceled or the series ends from CW, that's when you're probably my kind of hot. But not in the first seasons of CW hot. Not when you get cast in CW shows. But when the show has ended, that's probably when I'm interested in you. But this is CW hot, and I'm not interested. Pretty Boy and CW hot are neck and neck.
Okay, so what about like an Adam Brody?
No, never.
What are you talking about? He was actually on the CW. I thought you were going to really go for that one, though.
No, it wasn't CW. Though I understand what you're saying, CW hot. It was a Fox show. What the fuck was that show called?
OC.
OC, yeah, no. But those people were all very gorgeous and young. But you have to look like you can do some housework to me for me to be hot for you. Like, you're going to have a hard time with a nail gun, which I think Adam Brody has that look. You're not for me.
So what about like a Matthew McConaughey?
No, I don't like Matthew McConaughey.
See, then you don't make any sense because he looks like he could do all those things.
Does he? Or does he look like a guy who cosplays as a guy who can do construction work?
No.
Because he doesn't look like he does real construction work. He looks like a guy who cosplays a guy who can do construction work.
But he I think he can. I think he's very handy.
I don't know. I don't think he is handy. I think he plays handy on TV. He doesn't look handy to me. He does not look handy to me. Okay, so Tom Holland.
Oh, here we go.
You know how I feel about Tom Holland.
I know how you feel about Tom Holland.
But Tom Holland is an actual carpenter. He knows how to make a table.
See, he does not do anything for me. What about Niall Horan?
That guy cannot hold a drill to save his fucking life. That guy has never held a hammer.
He's Irish.
Who cares? You're an accent girl. That's a guy that's still in a CW show. His face is still in a CW show. He's still in this CW run. His show hasn't been canceled off CW yet. That's his face. Call me when your show is canceled from CW. He's still in CW phase. CW pretty. That's not for me.
Well, he's actually not on CW. He's actually on like NBC for The Voice.
No. But you know what I'm saying? He's still got some CW essence to him. I need him off the CW era. I need them to look like they've for sure been punched. I like it when a guy looks like he's been in a fist fight.
What about like Joe? I'm going to say his last name wrong.
He's hot to me. Yes. Can I tell you what?
Okay, so he's the one.
Yeah, he's very hot. Again, he looks like he's been punched. I like if you don't have a broken nose, if you're too symmetrical, get out of here. You're still in your CW phase. I need you to look like you've been fucking punched and you got a broken nose. And that's when I'm like, you, get over here, you. That's what I like.
What about Alexander Skarsgård?
Not for me. Not for me. He's not for me.
He looks like he could take a punch.
Not yet. He's not there yet. He's still got a little...
What are you talking about? Did you not see?
He's way too much. He still has a little CW hotness to me. I need him to get a little...
He was not never CW. He was all Netflix or HBO.
I need him to get in a couple more bar fights or fall off a roof doing construction work just one more time.
He was a vampire.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. That was his CW beauty era. And you know what I'm fucking talking about? CW beauty. A Skarsgård still has a little bit of that, a little bit too much. I need him to get in one or two more bar fights, or again, like I said, like fall off a ladder one more time before he's where I need him to be to think he's hot. He's not quite there yet. He's still got a little CW beauty in him.
What about Julian Edelman?
I don't know who this is.
He's not an actor. He played for the Patriots.
I am almost never attracted to sports guys, but I'll look him up.
Plays for the Patriots?
No. No. I don't think I've ever been attracted to a football player in my life. 0%. There's something gross and inherently douchey to me about a football player. Professional athletes just do not do it for me. Not at all.
But
to the point, because do you want to know what they feel like? They feel like perfect Bachelor contestants. And I could not be attracted to, I have never been attracted to a single Bachelor contestant in my life. And football players and Bachelor contestants feel like the same dude. And I have zero attraction to that type or that energy. None.
Oh, see, Julian Edelman, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is so adorable. He's almost like a Magic Mike to me.
Okay, let me look him up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, never.
What are you
Actually, but he looks almost dumb enough for me to like.
He was on a dating show actually, where he was like the Bachelor, but it was either on like VH1 or MTV. One of those.
He looks almost dumb enough for me to like, but not quite.
He's not dumb.
Okay, but he looks dumb, and that's important. I like him to look a little doof. Because you got to make me laugh. You got to be just a little dumb enough to make me laugh.
Oh, you kill me.
You got to do some dumb shit sometimes for me to laugh at. You know, he looks almost dumb enough. He might be almost dumb enough, but I'm not fully there. The fact that I know that he's a professional athlete is a big, gross turnoff to me for some reason.
Okay, I'm going to throw another one completely out there. Taye Diggs.
Not for me. Too pretty. He still has CW beauty. Oh, no. Taye Diggs is for me. I thought Taye Diggs is very hot. I thought you were talking about the other super pretty boy.
Oh, that one.
I was getting him confused with,
So I used to live in an apartment building, and I swear to God, it may have been Taye Diggs, but if it wasn't, it was his exact clone. I vividly remember riding in an elevator with just him.
Tyson Beckford. I'm not attracted to Tyson Beckford. He's too pretty. He still has CW beauty.
I don't even know who that is.
You do. You know who Tyson Beckford is. I was confusing Taye Diggs and Tyson Beckford.
Oh, well, he is handsome as well.
Too pretty for me. CW pretty.
Disagree.
But Taye Diggs, Taye Diggs is really cute. I really like Taye Diggs. He's very cute, man.
See, I think Taye Diggs looks more CW than Tyson Bedford.
What?
Tyson Bedford is tatted up. Taye Diggs is like not.
No, Taye Diggs is a hot man. Tyson Beckford is still CW pretty.
Taye Diggs, if you were in the elevator and lived in my building, which I highly doubt, you were absolutely gorgeous. You smelled delicious. You were impeccably dressed all the time. And I was so scared to even look at you in that elevator because whoever that person was.
What are you talking about? We used to serve famous people all the time. You were nervous around a famous person?
Always.
Get out of here. Oh, speaking of, I served Channing Tatum.
What? No, you did not.
Yes, I did. I served Channing Tatum.
I would not even know what to do with myself.
I served Channing Tatum, and it had no effect on me. Do you know who, when they came into our restaurant, really changed the horniness in the room? And I was surprised by this because we've served a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
The man who came in and everyone was pregnant for some reason was Adam Levine.
I was just thinking that.
Do you remember that?
During Lollapalooza, because he came in more than once. Yes. I was literally about to say that.
I did not expect that. I
cannot believe that we just had the same mindset. Jewish. He's Jewish.
We served a lot of celebrities, and I remember being like, whoa, none of us have all synced up our cycles like this with any other celebrity, except for when I was surprised. I was like, wow, Adam Levine just made us all pregnant, and I did not expect that.
Yeah, no, he did walk in. He
changed the air in the room. Right, but were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I am.
Were you surprised by that? I was.
I am. Shout out to Maroon 5 for killing it and being absolutely lovely humans while we were serving you years ago during Lollapalooza. Yeah, no, that was...
I didn't expect that. And that was shocking to me because I know that people lose their mind for him and I didn't really get it. But in person, all of us, all of the girls at the restaurant, all of us were different the second he entered in a way that I have never seen us do unanimously and so powerfully with any of the other celebrity males who have come into the restaurant. Nothing changed the air in the room like when Adam Levine entered. That was bizarro. Don't you think that was a little crazy?
Yeah, but I mean, because he looks exactly like he does all the time. But he was very nice.
Sure, but we've served a lot of celebrities. They're all very good looking. They're all very sweet. But we went into animal horniness collectively. I remember being like, whoa, I did not expect. Because I'm not a person that's normally attracted to Adam Levine. Like, he's cute. I think he's an attractive person, but he doesn't like do it for me. But in person, I was like, whoa, I'm horny. She's horny. She's horny. She's about to... She needs to go home. She's losing her mind. She's not okay. We need to restrain her. Like, it was a collective thing that I was like, this is wild. Like, I've never seen. It was kind of crazy.
It was quite a time to be working there. That's for sure.
A time to be alive. Time to be
I mean, the feelings were almost the same as when I served Geraldo.
Wild.
I did once have an interaction with Michael Jordan. at a bar in Chicago. And
I've served Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Well, okay. Are you trying to one up me? Is that what you're trying to do right now? Okay.
I bet we could go toe to toe. We'll do that another time. We'll save that juice for another time because we got some good shit.
Yeah, we'll have a pissing match a different day. But I remember vividly that I could not even control myself. We were in a very small bar, and all of a sudden these big, huge security guards walk in, and I look up, and there's Michael Jordan, and he walks all the way through the bar, and he comes on back, and his table happened to be across from our table. But as he walked on back, I had a uncontrollable urge that I could not restrain, and I grabbed his arm. No one stopped me. I don't know what.
Oh my God! You touched him?
I grabbed his arm and I looked up at him and I go, "You're gorgeous." And he just,
Jackie, I cannot believe. First off, audacity.
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
I touched the myth, the magic legend, and he just smiled at me with this Colgate smile. And it was a dark bar and it like lit up. Okay.
Oh my God.
And then he just sat down at his table right after.
He just smiled. He let you touch him.
He did.
Which, by the way, don't touch people. Don't touch people.
I don't know what came over me.
He let you touch him and then he just...
moment. By the way, when Megan was talking a few minutes ago, the girl who needs to be restrained was me.
Yeah, because you almost probably touched him. Inappropriate.
Yeah, I probably would have touched Adam Levine. I would be like, where?
Oh, I bet you would have.
Where's that tattoo from?
You inappropriate monster. No, I would never have the audacity to touch another human, much less a celebrity.
But here's the difference between you and I. I hug strangers, and that would be the death of you.
Yeah, I would bomb.
Right. And so like I invade personal space. It's naturally who I am. I'm a hugger. And here he came, and I had like an outer body experience. My body just went with whatever it felt. And yet these huge security guards, and he had quite a few of them. No one seemed to stop me. Like, I don't understand.
You're like, I don't get it. I looked crazy and no one was stopping me.
He's parted, and they were like, here, do whatever you want to Michael Jordan. And I was like, I grabbed his arm, like the bicep.
That is fucking wild that you had the audacity to touch just another human, a stranger, a complete stranger, but much less Michael Jordan, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, I'm 5'3.5", looking up at
specimen,
a specimen, especially back then, like in his prime. And
you two are not the same species, by the way.
Not even a little bit. And I was totally in some heels. So I was more like 5'8" that night. And he looked down at me, and I was like...
Appropriately, that he would look down at you. I looked down at you for touching this human. Well, can I tell you, two male, if you want to call them celebrities, who are in the news right now, who I could not be drier for. Whatever the opposite of a boner is, whatever the opposite of horny is. What's the opposite of horny? Completely repulsed.
That word right there, repulsed.
The two gentlemen that are in the news that I don't get it is Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Musk is out here impregnating tons of women and
naming their children weird things.
We talked about Nick Cannon before, but ew, with Elon, ew, they are gross humans. But the thing that I am not super mad at Zuckerberg for, and normally I am mad because he's a weird robot alien, he's got uncanny valley vibes to him. These two baby boy egomaniacs, baby boy billionaires, have such egos around them. Mark Zuckerberg just launched a competitive app to Twitter in the name of not only, I'm sure, absorbing all of the tech and trying to get every social media app to center around him, but also to be a little fuck you to Elon Musk. And I think that's kind of fun when ugly, egomaniac, gross boy billionaires start fighting with each other. That's the kind of fight I want. I don't want you guys to be fighting with the people, the citizens of the world. I want you guys to be fighting with each other and leave us out of it and just have billionaire boy fights, little egomaniac, little Joffrey from Game of Thrones fights with each other. And leave us out of it. But right now they're battling, and I like it. And I hope they take each other out so we don't have to.
I think that there's something like really creepy about Elon Musk at the same time.
I think there's something creepy about both of those guys.
Well, yeah, but like Mark Zuckerberg comes across as more of just like a really, really big they both come across nerdy.
Yeah.
Like Elon Musk comes across as like, I'm nerdy, but I think I'm like the hottest thing that walks the earth. Versus Mark Zuckerberg, who walks around being like, I'm a total dweeb and I know it, and like, I'm cool with that.
Billionaires are gross. And I think the reason why these dudes all want to have this much power and this much money, again, money and power kind of are the same thing in our society. But the reason why they want to have this much and they always want to have more is because they're so inept. They're so bad socially. They're so not cool. They're so not what they would want to be that they need this. They need this money and this power to help them feel like they are. It's so funny because no matter how much money they have and how much power they have, they still always slip up and they're still always like on the outskirts of society because they are essentially weirdos. So it's like, yeah, get all the money and the power you want, dude, and try and control things as much as you want. You're still weird. And the rest of us don't like you. And if you didn't have this much money and this much power, again, the thing that you think is going to like bring you into society or bring you control, it still doesn't make us like you. You're still a not likable guy, no matter how much you got and how much you can control. We still all don't want to invite you to our birthday. You're not invited.
Well, you know who actually gives a lot back, and I don't think a lot of people invite them to invite him to their birthdays, is Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is invited to every birthday. I don't know how you made this deep launch, what a jump. Don't know how you got here, but Keanu Reeves is invited to everything, and people love that guy.
I don't know that that's in fact the case.
What?
I don't think he's invited to like everything.
He is. He just chooses not to show up because he's so cool and lovely.
Oh, really? That's really where you're going to go?
You don't think so?
No.
What do you know about Keanu that I don't?
I don't think that Keanu is like everyone's cat's pajamas.
He's lovely. Everyone loves Keanu.
He seems lovely, but he also
What
seems
is
like
it? What is it that you think? To me, you're trying to tell me that you know some shit about Keanu that the rest of us don't know, or you're catching a vibe the rest of us aren't catching.
He comes across as like a little dark and a little guarded and a little standoffish. However, I do think that he's a cool dude. I love the fact that he like rides the subway. He is very generous, and I love people who are under the radar awesome.
Where did you pull Keanu from? Where did this thought come from? Where did this happen? What is the connection?
I think it pulled from like these people who have all this money and they need all this power.
Keanu's not a billionaire. He's not a gross boy. Those are gross boys.
No, but he has a lot of money.
Not this kind of money. This is different. Yes, Keanu is rich, but he's not this rich. This is like, I have attorney generals rich. This is, I pay lobbyists to affect U.S. policy rich. That's a different kind of rich. That's a whole different kind of rich. Having a mansion is rich. This is wealthy. This is dirty. This is controlling the media rich. That's different. That's helping enforce laws and policies to benefit my bank account rich. That's a different kind of rich. Those are the gross boys I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Keanu Reeves rich. Keanu Reeves, get out of
here. Okay. I apologize. Yes, ma'am.
If Mark Zuckerberg woke up with Keanu Reeves' account, he'd jump off a bridge. That's a difference in how many zeros one has to the other. He'd be like, oh God, I'm poor. If Mark Zuckerberg woke up with Keanu Reeves' bank account, he'd be like, oh, I'm poor now. That's how much difference there is in the money. 20 million ain't 100 billion. That's different. They're different money.
All right. That's a very fair assessment. I retract my statement about Keanu.
I just want to keep us safe. We're not going near Keanu. I love Keanu. The internet loves Keanu. And we don't have enough listeners to worry about offending those who love Keanu because he is protected. He's protected by the internet. He's a beloved figure. I don't want to mess with him. Elon and Zuckerberg, the internet hates those two.
I didn't know that you had such deep feelings.
I love Keanu. I thought you were about to tell me something I didn't know. I thought you were about to ruin my feelings about Keanu, and I did not want that.
I'm so sorry. Let me retract my statement.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were about to tell me something. I wasn't ready.
See, I don't let people like who are this ridiculous even like flood my mindset.
Who's ridiculous?
Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. I just don't even let them like get in there. They're just so ridiculous.
They control so much. They have so much money. They're billionaire boys. They're scary and they're not right. Their intentions are for power and money and influence and control and to like fix whatever little boy middle schooler was rejected by everybody. And they're just gross. I hate them. I hate them. If you're a billionaire, don't come to my birthday party.
But if I was a billionaire, would you feel the same way?
Yeah, I'd be like, Jackie, who are you exploiting to have that much money? What law are you exploiting? What are you exploiting to have that much money? How come you have that much money and the people in your community, you don't have like a community garden or you're not helping solve homelessness?
But see, I would.
You know what I'm saying? How come you have that much and you're not helping? You're not helping.
You're implying I wouldn't.
If you got $1 billion, you ain't giving enough away. If you got $1 billion, you're not doing enough. If you got a B, you ain't helping enough.
I would take you on vacation.
I would, you know what? I would look the other way.
No, you would not.
I would be like, okay.
You'd be like, oh, I love Jackie. She's a good time.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'd be like, shit, she's taking me on an all-expense week-long trip to Disney World. All right. I got one billionaire friend, and I'm going to look the other way. This is benefiting me.
Any other news topics you're interested in chatting about?
I think that's it, my love, for this week. Am I going to have another hard time editing to make your marriage safe? Yep. Second week in a row. You should hear it. Go back and listen to I know you haven't yet. Listen to last week's podcast. And hopefully Justin does it because that shit was out of control. And this shit's going to be out of control too. The reason why you talked the way you did, the reason why you were wild out here this week is because you haven't listened to last week's. If you listened to last week's, you'd know what kind of danger your marriage is in from last week and how much of another hard time I'm going to be having because we spent 30 minutes on hot dudes. Solid.
I can't even.
Poor Justin. Good luck. This podcast, you guys are going to go to therapy and they're going to be like, what is challenging your marriage right now? You guys are going to go to couples counseling. Well, my wife started a podcast where she just talks about all the thoughts in her spank bag. Take a listen to last week's episode. Again, I'm going to have a very hard time this week editing your horniness. And by the way, last time, if someone played a drinking game with the word horny for last week's episode, they would be laid the fuck out. They would be blacked out, drunk by how many times we used the word horny. I tried to not use the word horny this week, consciously knowing how horny you were last week and how
it was not horny.
Check it out, bitch. Wild. This week is more. So I'm very sorry to Justin in advance. Apologies. We spent at least 30 minutes, if not 45, talking about hot dudes this week. We're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
All right. Well, I love you very much.
Love you too.
We love all of our listeners, and we'll see you next week on What Are Y'all Talking About?
What everyone else says.
Bye.
Bye, doll.
Bye.